Hello, Paul.
Hello.
Welcome into another edition of Cash and Tickets, brought to you by Poolside Bets. I'm Franklin. That's Paul.
Hi.
You should know by now. Like and subscribe, of course. Hit the
Obviously.
bell, get the notification, all those things. We got a lot to get to. We're probably not going to maybe recap what we saw last weekend quite as much. Just because we peppered the board last week. I know I did, and looks like we have done it again this week, Paul. And we did not discuss this, but we got picks all over the place. More locks coming at you today.
Where's the fun in putting out one pick a weekend?
Nah, there's no fun in that. Anybody can do that.
Just send them out there.
Yeah, just we'll send them all out there and see how we do. Had some pretty good matchups last weekend. I still don't understand how Michigan scored 27 points, but they did.
Yeah.
I know there was a pick six in there, but congratulations. And I still feel pretty good about USC after that performance, even in a loss.
I do too. I think they're different than they have been in the past. The defense is they're bigger up front, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell, and I mean, aside from what 4 or 5 explosive runs, pretty. I mean, of course, those count. Don't get me wrong, but.
Well, I mean, kudos to Michigan for going, you know what, we're just not going to throw it anymore.
I do like that, too. Hey, they went with Alex Orji, and they just stuck to the game plan.
Yeah.
Paid off. We saw the debacle that was Arkansas-Auburn. That game was something to behold.
And nobody wanted to win that game.
And then you go into the nightcap, Tennessee-Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That Oklahoma defense apparently is really good, but that offense is really bad.
Yeah.
And now the star player they thought they had at quarterback has been benched. So kind of a quarterback conundrum there at Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's closer than I thought it would be for sure.
What else? See anything? Any other big games last
Only
week?
other ranked game was the Friday night game, Illinois-Nebraska. Illinois pulls it out. That's a pretty good win for them. Brett Bielema and Luke Altmaier.
Yeah. How about Stanford getting the win at Syracuse?
See, they come back across the country this week, so
Yeah,
it's right back across, and that was a big win for them.
I don't remember much more. We had so many picks, though. We can kind of recap a lot of those games.
Yeah. We'll get to it
in the picks. So, do you want to just get to that? Just recap what we had last week.
Sure.
And we'll go over that.
All right.
I'll try to wipe that across the board, and you'll do a little more gloating as we move to the recap. All right, let's take a look here. Look at all the green on your side of the board, Paul. That looks really, really good.
That Baylor had it.
Yeah, I mean, you were a Hail Mary away and a slipped cornerback away from going 7-0 there.
Then he fumbles going in for the touchdown to tie it back up.
Yeah, he pulled a Bo Wallace there.
I really want to keep fading Colorado every week, but they beat me twice this year. And I still have the under on their team win total for the year, so I'm just going to get off that thing and just see what happens.
Yeah, so your wins, of course, everybody can see them on the screen. James Madison plus 10.5. Whoo, what a performance against the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Couldn't stop them and with 20 defenders on the field.
It was bad. Texas Tech, I wasn't sure what you saw in that one. They got a big win against Arizona State.
Yep.
Army, easy. We both liked Army there.
Yep.
North Texas, easy win over Wyoming.
Yep.
Wyoming's a bad football team.
They're bad, and North Texas is really fun to watch on the offensive side of the football. Now, when they get on defense, go get a Coke.
Yeah.
Because it won't be long, they'll be back on offense.
And then Portland State putting up 14 points to get you to the over there. How about that?
That sneaky late-night play.
Yeah, that was really good. Boise State put up, 50-something?
Yeah.
Portland State got their 14, and I think they put 70 on the board, so enough of the cover there. And then San Jose State, Doc Emmett Brown coming through for you that Friday night.
Spread and shred.
What a game, baby. 54-52. Washington State pulls that out, but San Jose had every opportunity to get that thing done.
Yeah, file that away for later.
So I have more green than red this time, finally. 2 literally last 30 seconds of the game picks here from being 7-2. Kansas blew an 11-point lead with 3 minutes to go. Had the ball even after West Virginia scored to make it a 3-point game. Kansas could not get a first down. I don't even think they got 2 or 3 yards in that possession. Took no time off the clock. Had to punt it away. West Virginia, of course, goes down and scores to win by 4. And I lose the plus 3.5 with Kansas, who should have won outright. Of course, the late touchdown by the Michigan Wolverines to blow my over in that game. I had it covered by a half point there for so long. They give up the big run to Mullings there, and then he gets the touchdown late. And USC Michigan goes over. Kansas State, Oklahoma State just misses, total misses. I did not realize Oklahoma State was going to be this bad on offense with the Doak Walker Award winner returning, running back, the full offensive line coming back from last year. How they can't beat a Cam Risingless Utah team is beyond me.
Yeah,
the defense played really, really well. Offense was just putrid.
Looks like they don't really care too much.
And then that Kansas State BYU game, that was just a miss. That was
Storming Mormons.
They put the ball on the ground constantly. And then of course Army, we were there. TCU Smooth covered the over at the half.
Yeah, that's how you like to bet.
That game was done at halftime. Arkansas Auburn, never doubt they're never going to get enough points in that game. 7 turnovers in that game. Arkansas could have won that game 40 to what? I mean, they kept turning it over themselves. Fresno State get a late field goal to get the over 37.5 there. And Tennessee did hang on to cover the 6.5 as they win that game 22-11, something like that.
Who?
Tennessee, Oklahoma.
Oh, I had that pulled up a while ago.
I can't remember what that final score was, but I know they covered.
It's 25-15.
25-15. There you go. Mm-hmm. Somewhere in there. Yeah. So that's last week. I go 5-4. Paul goes 6-1. The updated standings. Old PJ there 17-10. I'm 11-16-2. So for poolside bets, we are now finally over 500. Thanks to Paul. Big weekend. 28-26-2. What do you think about that, Paul?
Yeah, no looking back.
No looking back. Now we're just moving forward. So we hope to have another good weekend this weekend, as I feel like we both have probably got it. We've got it spread around pretty good. We'll get to that. I know one game we can talk about because neither one of us is betting this game. Georgia going to take on the Crimson Tide this weekend. What are your thoughts, Paul?
Alabama's dominated the rivalry. I guess you'd call
8-1 in the last 9.
I mean,
something like that.
they're probably they. I mean, surely it's mostly Saban, but just because Saban's not the coach there doesn't mean he's not around.
Yeah.
I think he's still got an office somewhere in the building. He's available to be spoken to. And DeBoer's a hell of a football coach. I mean, it's not like they're going to – I mean, I don't think it's that big of a drop-off. So we'll see. And that Georgia offense has not looked great. So
No, that's right. And I think, Carson Beck's still trying to figure out where exactly he wants to go with the football with McConkey and Brock Bowers gone. I think maybe also we're looking at that what am I trying to say here? We're looking at that Kentucky game and taking too much from that. Georgia does this once a year.
Yeah.
We'll have a little clunker. Of course, Kentucky had a chance to win that game, but not going for it on 4th down. I could not understand that. So that won't be the case with Alabama. Alabama's going to try to put it on them if that score is close.
Yeah, they got it 28-25. Which is going to I don't see one team. I see some people thinking Georgia's going to blow them out, but I don't know.
I just haven't seen enough from if I hear one more person say Carson Beck should be the number 1 overall quarterback taken, what are we seeing here?
No. He shouldn't be I don't know where he's in the Heisman race, but he shouldn't be really in the mentioning for it.
Because if that were the case, shouldn't he be dominating the teams that they've played so far?
Yeah, he's not.
Even without Ladd and Brock still on the team?
Yeah, I'm curious to see. It's going to be a little more pizzazz and dynamic out of Milroe and company. They struggled earlier in the year with the offensive line, but I think they finally got it figured out. And of course, Georgia's D line's a whole nother animal. But I think they play a little more freer than they did under Saban on offense. They're not as tight, and Milroe can have fun, and I think that makes a difference here.
Yeah. It's going to be a great game. I can't wait to watch
Oh,
it.
yeah, it's
And
gonna be
of
good.
course, we haven't put out any locks for that game because what's the point?
No.
Maybe you get right to it. You take $20 and pick a side or $10, whatever. If you just feeling like doing something.
I mean,
But
if you're gonna bet it, you have to bet it. Alabama at home at night and the dog. You just put them on the money line, right?
yeah,
Because the Saban's coach there, are they a dog?
probably not.
No,
Not at home.
They're a 3-point favorite.
Most likely. Some other games that I know we're not on, of course, are Ole Miss Rebels are at home, opening up SEC play against the Kentucky Wildcats. Speaking of Kentucky, who had a chance to beat Georgia, you think they're going to have that same opportunity in Oxford tomorrow?
Yeah, it'll be fun to see how we respond to a legit front defensive line and their offensive line. Let's see if all the talk about how we look and it feels like we have a legit SEC defensive line and offensive line.
Right.
I want to see what it looks like live.
The players are there, and they do look different. But again, we haven't played against an SEC offensive line. I want to see how our
Yep.
defense in front, if it can dominate against Kentucky like they have against these other teams, and hey, there's a lot more enthusiasm going on there.
Let's get that running game rolling.
Yeah, they're gonna have to figure something out. That I think they've getting some guys back healthy on the offensive line, some guys that they had gotten in the portal. So we'll see if they find the right combination
About
of
time to
offensive line to get Henry Parrish going.
Get Peppercorn going down the middle.
And the tight ends have been really good. They're getting and they're is what helping lead the current running game they have. The tight ends have been really good blocking in the run game. So if that offensive line can really gel, it could be something special brewing over there
Yeah.
in Oxford, Mississippi. Who else we got?
I don't know if you want to talk about the Arkansas A&M game.
Yeah, that's fine. Arkansas.
Oklahoma, Auburn.
Is this is the it's in Jerry's World, right? And I
Yeah.
think this is the last year it'll be there.
Right.
This game gets crazy in that place
Yeah.
every year, no matter who's good or bad. What it hadn't mattered.
Man, I think the wrong teams. I don't know if it's
Was A&M favored here?
Yeah, I mean it's -5.5. Is what I'm seeing here. If that thing gets close to a touchdown, I'd hammer it, but it'd probably go the other way.
If Arkansas is going to win this game, Taylor Green has got to cut down on the interceptions.
Yeah, it's got to be a shootout. I mean that's the way they're going to win it. And
then,
he can't turn the ball over.
and the Arkansas defense is going to have that Marcel Reed over there is going to still make some young QB mistakes for
Right.
A&M. I'm guessing he's going to get the start. I haven't heard that Wegman's going to play. I don't know what they're going to do there.
Yeah.
So that ought to be. It's always an entertaining game. Has been in the past. So hopefully that'll be another fun one to have on the TV and watch.
I mean Arkansas can be had on the defensive side, but I don't know if A&M can make it happen. I mean I know they can run the ball well, but I don't know if they can throw it worth a shit.
Yeah. And some of the other matchups with big name, teams that people know, I think we're on some of those sides, so we can discuss those when we give out our picks. And then the NFL is NFLing. It's doing what it does, man. How hard is it to bet the NFL?
I don't like it. I don't even know why I try.
Oh, last weekend was tough. My 49ers go down again. Brock Purdy makes all the throws. Wide receiver can't catch it late to get the game-winning field goal or seal that game up. Steelers go to 3-0, big win over the Chargers. How about that? And then the quarterback that I would have taken over Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, is looking good in Washington. Big performance. Monday was that Monday night? Yeah, that was Monday night against the 0-3 Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah. I'm on a little something on the Commanders this week.
What else we got? We got Dallas dropping to 1-2 after Dak got the big contract. Well, they're 2-2 now after last night's result that they just squeaked by the lowly New York Giants. Anything else intriguing about the NFL to you there, Paul?
No, I don't trust it. Don't like it. I mean, guy goes out there last night to make a 50-yard field goal. He ain't missed his whole career since he's in junior high school to cover a line,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden his earpiece goes off. Shanker.
Could you maybe not make this one?
No.
We're not going to lose this game. Could
'Cause
you just?
I mean, I don't know.
not
I
make it?
don't know, but I'm pretty sure the betting public was hammering the Cowboys.
Oh,
Yesterday.
absolutely.
And how many eliminator had the Cowboys?
Dallas last night.
Oh my God! And I mean, it was way closer than everybody thought it was going to be.
Yeah, myself included.
Yep.
If I had one thing to look at this weekend is maybe fade the 3-0 teams going into this week. Something's going to happen.
Fuck right off.
I'm not necessarily meaning the Steelers, by the way.
No, look.
I don't think they
No,
don't have a big matchup this week.
They got the Colts.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
I don't do
Anthony Richardson Colts.
Do not bet on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Even if it is smoke and mirrors, it's still not. Just don't do it.
Like you got the 3-0 Vikings who look like world beaters, but now they're on the road at Lambeau, take on the Jordan Loveless Packers who have won 2 with Malik Willis.
Yeah, Malik Willis looks good. How good of a coach is that guy for Green Bay?
LaFleur? Yeah, he's getting it done. Isn't he?
That's 2 really good coaches that nobody really talks about. Minnesota, because Minnesota lost J.J. McCarthy at the beginning of the year and had to find a way to, save.
Sam Darnold's looked good.
He got it. That's crazy what a coach can do for you.
We know he goes to San Francisco. Shanahan liked him, and mop-up duty and the other times that he did, I think he learned some things there. Then he goes to Minnesota. Now he gets his shot under, is that Brian Flores? No?
He's a
Does that
DC.
sound right?
Flores is a defensive coordinator. Who you talking about?
Minnesota Vikings head coach.
Oh, crap. Nice. Way to go. I can tell you in a second.
What is that guy's name?
It's O'Donnell or something like that.
Kevin O'Donnell?
Is that it?
Maybe. There was a Neil O'Donnell that played
We know
for the
things. We
Steelers.
just don't know that.
Kevin McConnell?
That's not. We're gonna have to write a letter to his
Siri. What's
Kevin O'Connell.
O'Connell. Yeah, so I was wait.
Brian Flores is the DC. Wes Phillips is the OC, and the strength and conditioning coach is Matt Daniels.
So Flores is at the Vikings. He's just the DC.
He's DC, yeah.
Okay. Well, so I wasn't completely losing my damn mind.
Boy.
But O'Connell's been good there with QBs.
Yep.
Anyway, NFL is the NFL.
Good luck with that.
Never lay very many points, and just be careful.
If you're gonna bet the NFL, like go bet the anytime touchdown scorer and shit like that.
Props. Yeah, go find your players you like. Get some props out there. All right, Paul, is this time to throw out some locks? We got a whole bunch of them, so
Yeah.
this thing may run a little while.
I
so
get off at 5 now. We gotta
You get.
gotta roll through this. No, I'm kidding.
We got a hard out, isn't that some would you say in like in radio and other things? We got a hard out today. I got to be out of here. I got things to do.
We good. It's raining outside. We might as well sit here and talk about football.
Yeah, we sure can. All right, let's get them. Well, we won't put them up on the board. We'll just run. We'll put them up later. We'll just because I'm gonna put them on the scroll down here. So I'll let you go 2 in a row.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go first.
You
this
go
time.
first.
How about that?
You go first.
11 o'clock Saturday morning.
No.
The undefeated Indiana Hoosiers
They are.
playing host to the Maryland Terrapins.
Mm-hmm.
You know how much we loved Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if people don't know about it, if you didn't know too much about this coach, Kurt Signetti, then you didn't pay attention to James Madison much over the last few years. He had that program rolling. Comes to Indiana and brought a good bit of his players, and then he went out and got. When they just hit dynamite. I mean, they just hit a home run here. They got Curtis Rourke, who now appears to be fully healthy. Banged up a lot. Was it Miami? No. Where was he?
He was at Ohio.
Ohio. No,
He was at the Bobcats.
So he comes in. He's really healthy, and it's paid off for the Hoosiers there. So Indiana looks to get to 5-0 as Maryland comes to town, and I trust the Hoosiers to score. And Maryland will be the most competent offense that this Indiana defense has had to deal with this year. So I see a pretty exciting early Big Ten game here, and look for points to be scored. I do like Indiana in this game, but that's not what I'm going at, Paul.
Okay.
I'm taking the over 51 in this game.
Yeah. Okay.
I had it at 52.5 on my sheet here. I almost said 52.5, but as we looked right before we got started, that line has moved. It's moved in my favor. It's now down to 51. So I'll take the Hoosiers and the Terps to put on a little show here at 11 a.m. and get me the over here, over 51.
Yeah, I'm on the same game, and I'm on the side Indiana -7. I kind of go with the same thought process there, but the Terps defense is 102nd in the country in pass defense. Eventually, they're
going to break.
Indiana's going to be able to get them off the field. Maryland won't. It's going to, and that goes to the shootout, the over theory there. I mean, if they get in a track race with Indiana, it's going to be a bad day. So, I mean, this could end up being a 17-point victory for Indiana. So,
yeah, I think they win big here. I'd just like to see them
score a lot,
at least in the 30s.
Yeah, because Indiana can
close
score
to 40,
yeah,
and Maryland will put up a few points.
Yeah,
I think they'll put up more than UCLA did. I think against Indiana.
Yeah, well, let's nail that then. Let's get the -7 and the over.
That's right.
All right.
We'll get a little 45-14 game. How about that?
That sounds good to me.
That's a cover for both of us there. All right, we'll move on. Still at 11 o'clock. I don't know where in the world you're going to find this game. I meant to put thought I put the networks on here. On most of them I did, but this one's probably not going to be on a big-time network, I imagine. Navy travels down to Birmingham to take on the UAB Blazers. Brian Newberry took over as the head coach of the Midshipmen, replacing the winningest coach in Navy history and one Ken Niumatalolo.
Woo!
How about that?
Spread and shred.
Nailed it.
Spread and shred.
Nailed it. Anyway, so it's a little shaky of a first year, but now Navy is off to a 3-0 start as they travel to take on the UAB Blazers, who has a loss to the ULM Warhawks on their schedule, which is not very good.
General Booty.
Yeah. Hey, you know what I've seen from, and this is what I've seen from most of the academy schools, is Navy's a little different when they have the ability to hit you through the air some.
Yeah, when they throw that forward pass, it gets tricky.
Yeah, so the QB Blake Horvath there is really good. And he does it all for this Navy offense. He leads the team in rushing, but he's also been, and don't laugh, he's 21 of 33 for 412 yards. I realize that could be a Jackson Dart one game against Furman, right? Something like that. But when you're talking about Navy, you've probably seen those type of stats throughout a whole season, and they're only 3 games in. And he hit a couple of touchdown passes, like of the 20-yard variety against Memphis last week. So it sounds like a game here that Navy can really get after the Blazers here, because it's hard enough to prepare for that offense when there's no threat of the pass.
Right.
And now there is some threat. It's going to put that extra little thought that you got to worry about. So Army won big last night, so Navy's got to keep pace.
Yep.
So I'm laying the 3.5 with the Navy Midshipmen.
All right, that game's on ESPN2.
Okay, ESPN2. So you can get it. You don't have to. You don't have to get out on the app or anything.
No. All right. My next game's going to be 11 o'clock on the ACC network. Western Kentucky plus 8.5 at Boston College. Bill O'Brien's done a great job, and short of the Alabama game, the Hilltoppers they've won their last 6, so they're 7-1 in their last 8. I think is what it is. This is by far the best offense, in my opinion, that Boston College is going to be facing all year. They'll try to control the clock and all that, but Western Kentucky don't need the ball long.
No,
they're going to score, and I don't see how Boston College separates from them as far as being able to score. They're not going to be able to shut them out, and I mean, I don't. Western Kentucky is probably going to win the game. Be honest with you.
So you like them outright?
Yeah,
so you'll gladly take the points here.
If this thing gets into a shootout and they struggle stopping that Hilltopper offense, it could be ugly early. So, anyways, give me Western Kentucky plus 8.5.
All right, I like it. Too bad it wasn't what you thought it was when you sent that to me.
I don't know where I got that from. I wrote down 13.5, and I ain't found 13.5 since.
That would have been a hell of a number, wouldn't it?
I guess I was going to hit that slider when I got there. Minus
Move
5,000.
So we got us a big showdown in the ACC. as Louisville travels to take on Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Now, this game, you do have to get out there and find you something. This thing is on the Peacock Network.
You got to have a script.
Yeah, 2:30 p.m. here. The Cardinals come in as a 6.5, 7-point favorite, depending on the book that you use. I thought the Cardinals would be a trendy dog pick here, but the line is not really strayed from the 6.5. So apparently, there's not a ton of money coming in on Louisville here. So Jeff Brom was in his bag last year with Louisville, got the win against Notre Dame. Of course, that game was at home for the Cardinals. This Cardinal defense is a little bit different than last year. They don't quite have the beef up front that they had, and that could be a concern with Riley Leonard being a running quarterback. But everybody knows what Riley Leonard is and what he can and can't do. So that kind of makes him one-dimensional, obviously. And I trust that Jeff Brom's going to be able to dial up some easy plays for Tyler Shuck. He's been really good as long as he stays healthy, and that's been his problem throughout his career. And the biggest thing here is head coaching. This is a complete mismatch, Jeff Brom versus Marcus Freeman. Yeah. So I think Louisville can win this game outright, even though it's in South Bend, but I'll take the 6.5 points with the Louisville Cardinals. So give me Louisville plus 6.5.
I like it. Hope we get 7.
Wish it would move to 7. I thought I had it at 7. That it's just kind of swayed back and forth.
Yeah, the numbers have not been kind to me this morning, or you or anybody.
They moved it the wrong way, almost all of them.
My next play is going to be at ESPN Plus at 1:30. It's James Madison minus 21. Once again, I got the bad number. Versus Ball State. I am a little bit worried about them having a letdown after their big win against North Carolina last week. But, I mean, Bob Chesney just handles business. He's done it everywhere he's been. He don't let things bother him. He's got his squad around him. Ball State gives up 8 yards of play. If you don't understand
per play,
if you don't, if that doesn't tell you,
that's rough.
Yeah. So, it's not very. I mean, it's not like if James Madison's going to go out there and score, Ball State's not going to be able to do much against them. So
you're telling me Ball State's defense is offensive?
They're not. Yeah, no. They are not. They're not getting their offensive break. No time for coaching when the defense is on the field. And another thing too is we talk about this a lot to where you got teams that are hot or whatever you want to ride them. I'm just going to ride this train till they buck me. Like you did with Coastal and some other teams. I'm just going to stay on this James Madison wagon.
I like it. They're you know what is really runs apparently very efficiently there at James Madison is that I don't know what you call it there, but the administration there.
They're good at
so it's
everything.
not like they're a front office, but they know how to hire.
Yep.
Apparently, their AD is really good.
Yeah, they're good at every sport.
So they go from Kurt Signetti, who really had that thing rolling, and who'd you say they had? What was his? I forgot his name. Chesney.
Big shot Bob Chesney.
Yeah, big shot Bob.
He's a young guy too.
Yeah, he came from an FCS school.
Yeah, he coached at Assumption, and then he coached at. Oh my goodness! If you wouldn't ask me.
Sorry, we talked about it last week. But that's okay. Yeah, I really like James Madison a lot as a program in totality. They really get it done there.
Holy Cross.
Really good AD. Yeah, so okay.
So he was the guy that coached the kid that just left UNLV.
Yeah, they shut it down there. That's right.
Maybe he's headed for James Madison.
Maybe. Who knows? Probably anywhere that'll give him the money that he's asking for, I guess.
You can't tell me UNLV can't stumble across $100,000 to get that kid.
I don't think they want to. Now, I don't know. It's an odd situation. You'd think somebody here would want to save face, but I don't know. But it's got to be something that's not getting reported that we don't know about.
Bob Chesney's career record as a head coach is 114-46. It's pretty good.
It's pretty stout.
He's born in 1977, so that makes him about 47 years old.
He's 1 year younger than me.
Yeah, he's 47 years old. Guy's got it. He's got the world is his oyster.
And I am not coaching football, by the way.
Talking about it.
I don't know if you know.
We're just talking about how shitty they do. That's all. terrible coach.
God.
And do better than that from my living room.
All right, I'm gonna stick in the 2:30 window here on ABC. The Oklahoma Sooners travel to take on the Auburn Tigers. Now, Paul, don't yell at me,
I'm
okay?
not going to.
Just hear me out.
I know.
All right.
Go ahead.
I mean, you already told me what was it? Sunday
Yeah,
or Monday? You
last
said, it's
Sunday.
like, don't even look at that game. You said,
No.
don't even look at it. So just hear me out, okay?
Yeah.
And it's early, but this game feels like a must-win for both programs at this point. And they're both in a QB conundrum. I mean, they don't know what they're doing at the position. Apparently, Auburn's going to go back to Peyton Thorne. I don't know what in the world was going on with Hank Brown last weekend. looked terrible.
Freeze can't even make the quarterbacks that played good for him happy.
Yeah. No. And then the Sooners, they benched Jackson Arnold.
Yeah.
You know, Wonder Boy. They let Dylan Gabriel walk so they could hang on to Jackson Arnold, and now he's been benched, so they're going in a different direction. But I know what I saw on defense with Oklahoma, and this game's must win. So they're going to go out there. They'll be dialed in. They'll be ready to go. The Auburn defense has played well. It's the only thing that kept them in that Arkansas game is every time they threw a pick, they would do something to get the ball back to their inept offense. So this game is going to be there's going to be some nerves both sides because both sides know they need to win this game. Both defenses are pretty good. Nobody knows what they're doing at quarterback. So I see a low-scoring game here, Paul. Little pillow fight over in Auburn, Alabama. Sooners, Auburn, under 45.
Under 45. Okay. All right. I mean, Auburn's the favorite for what reason, I don't know. But this is the game, like we talked. This is the game that he frees. He'll find a way to win.
Yeah, no, that's why I didn't take a side. I was just
he'll throw a wide receiver and run the wildcat and find a way to generate enough offense. Yeah. So that's why I stayed away from it. But no, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I need both of them just to bang heads, and Auburn wins 10-9. Congratulations, I guess.
Yeah. Need one of them 6-3 games.
Yeah, we've seen it, haven't we?
All right, this next plays at 2:30 on CBS. It's USC host the Wisconsin Badgers. I'm taking the Wisconsin Badgers team total under 16.5. It's a 100% play against Phil Longo and his inability. Is that a word?
Inability.
Inability.
I think.
Inability to coach and call plays against legit defenses. He just can't do it. I mean, he's going to.
He just can't do it.
I mean, the Trojans defense giving up 15 points a game. I mean, I don't see how they match up across the line with them. They got to fly across the country.
And they're on a different quarterback.
Yeah,
Van Dyke's out.
Yeah, Van Dyke's out. Phil Longo's. I don't care if Phil Longo's calling the play. That's all I need to know.
He's still there, still calling the plays.
I mean, they get out to Los Angeles, they see all the pretty girls in the bikinis and whatnot, and they go, "Woo!" You know,
the song girls will be on the sideline doing their thing.
Yeah, all they know is there's a lot of cheese in Wisconsin, and they talk about cheese. Don't know nothing about no beach, no surfboard, no pretty weather. So I think they get out there and they get shellacked, run over, and Phil Longo's calling streaks in the middle of the second quarter, just hoping DK Metcalf's down there somewhere.
Or A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Definitely not Dalton Kincaid, though.
Why would you throw it to that guy?
Not looking for him.
What a shit show. But yeah, under 16.5. I could have dove into a lot of stats on this thing, but I just to hell with it.
When I typed this in the scroll right there, I should have put Phil Longo under 16.5.
No,
not
it's basically what it is. I mean, anyways.
Yeah, it's bad.
I mean, if you know, you know. So
not very good.
Mm-mm.
I thought Luke Fickell was smarter than that.
Well,
as a head coach.
Mac Brown got out of it somehow, and then, anyways.
All right, so go from one team total under to another team total under.
Boy.
The offense for the Bowling Green Falcons has been getting a lot of flowers lately because they put up some points against Penn State and A&M. Speaking of, who made that schedule? I know they're getting paid, but damn. They went to Penn State, then turn around and go to Texas A&M. That's a tough way to get your season started. But the defense for the Falcons has been really good. They did their best to keep those games close. They only gave up 26 to Texas A&M. That game was 26-20. Bowling Green covered easily in the Penn State and A&M games. So I think they're doing really well. Old Dominion has not scored more than 20 points in a game all season. And I don't see how they get it done against Bowling Green here.
Yep.
So I'm going to take the Old Dominion Monarchs team total under 19.5.
I couldn't tell you one thing about Old Dominion. What are they?
The Monarchs.
They're the Monarchs?
I'm about 98.5% sure
Okay.
that they're the Monarchs.
And Bowling Green's the Falcons.
Yep, they are.
Huh. I like
the
it.
The more you know.
Yeah, hey. Yeah. They're getting information here at Poolside Bets.
Yeah, I think they got a shot to win their conference. I mean, obviously they're 1-2, but those 2 losses are,
What time's that game start?
Oh, it's 2:30 on ESPN Plus, so you do have to go out there and get your little streaming action
up
to watch that one.
Yeah, use your ex's Wi-Fi password.
And that's the password, X's Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Penny is a freeloader, no spaces. I can't even find. I ever found it. I was gonna look at something real quick because I know we got tons of time.
What are you looking at?
Oh my God. Oh boy.
You're looking at the ODU Monarchs?
Yeah, I'm just taking a gander, if you will. A lot of hundreds over here. 406 yards a game each. Oh boy.
That's what they're giving up.
Bowling Green's giving up more than that, but they play better competition, so doesn't really say much.
Well, they've given up yards. I mean, they gave up 34 points to Penn State, and they gave up 26 to Texas A&M. That's 26 to A&M. I think they can hold.
Well, they're 122nd in the country at 16.7 points per game. So
Old Dominion?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't think they've scored 17 but one time
and
this year.
Bowling Green's getting up 25 points a game, like I said, but they also played way better competition. So.
Yeah.
And you're at 19, so that sounds good.
It was at 20.5 this morning, and of course now it's 19.5.
Of course, they did that to you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so where am I at? I'm 2:30.
South Al?
I don't know what time that game starts. I didn't write it down there. All right, let's go. Did it already give South Alabama?
Nope.
All right. South Alabama team total over 20.5 at LSU. 6:45 on SEC Network. Jaguars versus Tigers in Death Valley just sounds like a great thing.
Doesn't it?
It takes like we're back in Rome, and it's going to be a battle. Major Applewhite has the Jaguars offense just rolling. Through the air, they're averaging 13 yards per completion. LSU can't stop me and Franklin running 3-yard in routes. So
they can't stop the run either.
They can't do nothing.
Harold Perkins is out for the season.
Yeah. The Tigers going to be on the heels all night. South Alabama may win this thing straight up. Everybody knows I'm not a fan of LSU. I will bet against them all the time. But, I mean, even if LSU finds their niche and they start running a score up on them, South Alabama is going to keep trying to score. It's not going to lay down.
No.
So 3 touchdowns don't sound like a lot here. So give me the over 20.5 for South Alabama.
I almost added the South Al LSU over. I think it's like 65.5.
It's a big number.
But I think they'll get there pretty easily. They may get there in the third quarter.
Yep.
South Alabama may have 28 points in the third quarter.
Yep.
Ought to be a high-scored and fun game, not unless
Jaguars.
It won't be a fun.
Tigers.
It won't be a fun game if you're an LSU fan, but
boy, their
just to
liver,
watch.
their liver this year.
all of that it's not good.
We don't need that job to come open.
No, yeah, just
we don't
keep
need
Brian Kelly out.
Yeah.
He's fine. He's a great coach.
Yeah, he's got it figured out.
He's really, really good. I mean, I know you agree.
100%.
Yeah. We're still in the afternoon here. I'm barely getting out of the 2:30, but I'm at 3 p.m. on ESPN2. North Carolina Tar Heels head to Durham to take on the Duke Blue Devils. Now, if this was a basketball game, be the premier game of the week. Sadly, it is not a basketball game. This is a football game, and I think it's going to be fascinating. You got Mac Brown, who nearly quit. What was that, halftime or after the game? Told his players if they didn't think he was getting it done, that he would just leave. And, of course, he walked that comment back. So he's still the head coach there. And I don't think that, and this is just my opinion, I don't think Manny Diaz is that good a coach. He's living off like 1 or 2 good seasons as a DC.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good defensive coordinator, but that's about it.
I mean, I saw what happened with the Miami Hurricanes. It wasn't great there.
Nope.
He was 1 really good years at DC at Mississippi State, and then 2 okay years at Miami before they made him the head coach there. And of course, that flamed out. There's plenty of guys I'd take over Manny Diaz. My point is, I know Duke's 4-0, but they haven't really played any. The best offense they've played, Paul, is the Northwestern Wildcats.
No, they're not good at all.
Thank you. So I don't know what you could say about the Duke defense. I know what Omarion Hampton,
Yeah,
is that his name?
The running back.
Yeah, for the North Carolina.
Yeah.
I know he can get it done. I mean, they did put up 50, albeit in a 70-50 loss.
Yeah, it ain't
to
that side
James
of the,
Madison.
it ain't that side of the field.
And Malik Murphy, transfer from Texas, has been pretty good for Duke. They've been putting up some points, and we know what the defense for North Carolina looks like.
North Carolina's 1-8-1 in their last 10 against the spread.
Yeah. So I'm not on a side here. I know North Carolina can't stop anybody. Duke hasn't played a good offense. I think North Carolina can score here. So I see basically a basketball game on the turf, on the field. So I'm going to take the over 55. No, it's now 56. Taking the over 56 in the North Carolina Duke tilt.
Interesting. Brooks Field. Where's that? Duke? Yes, Duke. Wonder if the hurricane affects that game any.
Yeah, it could. I forgot all about that.
Hmm.
But nothing's been taken off the board for that game, though, has it?
Mm-mm. I haven't even looked. I don't even know.
Where's that thing coming up through? Florida?
It's like the Florida, Georgia line, I think.
So maybe it won't affect that far up the East Coast.
Maybe not.
Maybe?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
I hope. Anyway, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, we'll work it out later. All right, let's go with where do I want to go? I'm gonna go 6 o'clock.
Okay.
ESPN Plus. My North Texas Mean Green -7.
Back to the well.
Play the Tulsa 1 cane.
Don't forget, just 1 hurricane.
1 hurricane. Stupid.
You even had to go look that up. You did not believe me.
That's so dumb.
Just 1 golden hurricane.
Yeah, this is kind of the same premise I'm going with on the Indiana game earlier. Tulsa won't be able to score with North Texas. They're probably one of the top 3 funnest offenses to watch. They spread it all over the field. Chandler Morris has been great. Not a lot of information here to give you on this besides the fact that Tulsa, a hurricane, won't be able to just go score the play for play with North Texas on that side of the football. So expect a lot of points and maybe like a 14 to 17-point win for the Mean Green. That's about all I got on that. And also, I'm
Go Mean Green.
riding the team that brought me there.
There you go. That's 2 today.
Yeah.
James Madison, North Texas.
Yeah.
I like it. All right.
Yep.
They pulled out a big win for you. I mean, like they covered that spread last week easily with who was that? Wyoming. Yeah, that was never a doubt there. All right, I'm going to a big matchup in the Big Ten, Paul.
Okay.
The undefeated Fighting Illini travel to Happy Valley, take on the Penn State Nittany Lions. And this was going to be their whiteout game, supposedly. But something about they can only call 1 game a year a whiteout.
Okay.
Due to some that involves the NHL and some other bullshit, which I was like, why is that even a thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
But they said it's going to feel like a whiteout game in Happy Valley. I'm like, okay. I don't know what that means, but it seems kind of convoluted. Anyway.
The points seem like too much, though, don't it?
Absolutely. So the Fighting Illini come in there undefeated, and they've looked great. Luke Altmaier's been a completely different quarterback. He's in his last 7 games, he's got a 17-2 touchdown to interception ratio. And he was even talking shit in the Nebraska game, which you don't see much from Luke, as we remember him in his time in Oxford. Kind of a laid back kind of kid. But
Well,
real,
he had his hands full then too.
real happy for him what he's doing there under Brett Bielema for Illinois. Penn State has been better on offense this year with Drew Aller. He's looked a little more poised. I think they're like top 5 or lead the country in explosive plays.
No.
But the best defense they've played is Bowling Green Falcons, I believe.
This is true.
So we don't really know how great that offense really is, even though it's looked really good, looked better than it has in the past. Illinois is coming off a beat down of Kansas and Nebraska, so they're a little more battle tested. I just think the line here is way too big, and I don't. In this game last year was a 17-point game that Luke Altmaier threw 4 picks in. So I trust Luke not to throw 4 picks in this game, even though it's on the road. And the total is in the 40s with a 19-point spread.
Yeah.
Well, it was 19.
That don't sound right.
But it's come down to 18. But it has moved in my direction, though. I thought Illinois would be a trendy, dog pick here.
Right.
But it opened at 17, and now it's 18. So it's moved the other way. So I'm gonna take the points here.
Don't blame you.
I think Illinois can keep this thing close. I think that is even shot for them to even win this game outright, if I'm being honest. Penn State lost their best DB last week. So I got a 2-for-1 special for you in this game.
No, boy.
I'm taking Illinois. I'm taking my 18 points. I'm also taking the Illinois team total over 13.5. That's way too low here.
Yeah, I like that.
Give me the Fighting Illini all up in this game. Illinois team total over 13.5. Illinois side plus 18.
There's a ton of money coming in on the over there, so at 47.5. So I mean, there's going to be a lot of points scored.
Yeah, I was shocked at how low their team total was.
Yeah, they're James Franklin. He's all right, but he's not. He's always going to give up about 3 games a year anyway. This may be one of them.
I hope so.
All right, here we go. I just got done with North Texas, didn't I? Mm-hmm. And all my knowledge there. I'm gonna go. Let me get a time. You got anything pulled up over there?
What you need?
Iowa State, Houston start time.
Think they're in after 3:00 time, I believe, Paul.
I mean, I know y'all can go find the game, but I still like to have that available.
Yeah, I got. Here we go. Iowa State, Houston, 6:00 FS1.
All right. Iowa State, Houston, under 43 here. It ticked down from 43.5. Iowa State's defense top 10 in the nation, points per game at 9. Houston's defense gives up 21 points a game. Still not. I mean, they're pretty good. Pace of play becomes a factor here. They're going to run the clock, run the ball. Houston's offense is just terrible. They're not going to be able to do much. I doubt they score at all. Houston is 4-0 to the under this season. So we're going to take Iowa State at Houston under 43.
Under 43.
Yep.
Didn't that one move in the wrong direction?
Sure
too,
did.
for you there?
Every one of them did. Every one of them.
Every one of them. Oh, yeah. And just doing some raining out there. We're getting some of that pressure from the hurricane, I guess, coming up through there. I don't think it's going to last too long. We should be all right. There was talk about going to be some maybe rain and wind over in the Georgia-Alabama game, but I think now that's pretty much settled down. I don't think they're going to have any trouble with weather tomorrow night in that game. So maybe a little in Oxford tomorrow, but I think maybe that's settled down too. So it ought to be a good game in Oxford, just about an hour away from here. We'll move on to another lock before Paul gets back. I think I may be at the end of my picks here. Could be could be the last one. All right, and this is a late nighter. Once everything else has failed, and it's time to go get all the money back, this is the one I'm going to dive into. Washington State Cougars travel to the Blue Field of Boise, Idaho to take on the Boise State Broncos. You want points? I think you're going to get them in this late night tilt. The best running back in the country is, of course, Ashton Genty for the Boise State Broncos, and he's going to get his. No doubt about it. He's been getting it all year. The Cougars, who were left for dead in the Pac-2, have quietly gotten off to a 4-0 start. And they with a big win in the Apple Cup included there, with a big win over the Washington Huskies. So John Mateer has been really good in dealing for the Cougars. Now he faces a Bronco team that's been giving up 41 points a game with a struggling pass defense, where they rank in the hundreds in nearly every category on that side of the ball. So not a great matchup for the Broncos here. So there are going to be a lot of fireworks on the blue field in Boise, my opinion. I like Washington State in this game, and their team total sits at 28.5. So I would have had them somewhere around 33.5 to 34. So I think I'm getting lots of value here with the Cougars. So give me the Washington State Cougars team total over 28.5.
Are you already done?
Hmm?
Oh, you double dipped on Illinois.
Yeah, I did. Sorry, yeah, I get that. So I was on that game, so I went ahead and gave out both picks on that one.
I got you. All right. Boy, I can't spell. All right. My next game is Stanford at Clemson. Over 57, 6 o'clock on ESPN. Stanford travels across the country for a second straight week. Face a Tigers offense that's been pissed off.
They have been angry
since they got beat by Georgia. Jet lag's got to start creeping in at some point here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Clemson in the 40s. If they get to the 40s, this thing's going to sail over. I think his name's Troy Taylor. Is the coach at Stanford. He's done a really good job. Like I said, they come across the country last week, beat a Syracuse team I really like. So like I said, I just need both teams to reach their point total average for the year, and this thing will sail over.
Just get to your potential, he said.
Yeah,
Hell, Clemson may have 40 at the half, the way they've been going.
Just do your job. Do your job. So that's and you want me to go ahead and give my other one?
Well, you just got the one more left, yeah.
Yeah, all right. And I'm going to go to the NFL here, and this, trust me, I know. But I like the angle here. Me and Franklin talked about earlier this week about the Detroit Lions uniforms, and I like betting shit like that. But I didn't do it. I
I noticed you stayed away from that. By the way, if y'all haven't seen it, go look at those uniforms Detroit's about to pull out. Those things are fire.
Yeah. So the Cleveland Browns team total under, like a bunch of people are betting, and then I saw the uniforms, so I was going to parlay those two teams together, but I didn't do it. So what I did do was Washington Commanders at the Arizona Cardinals, over 50.5, 305 on probably NFL Sunday ticket.
Yeah.
So the revenge spot for Cliff Kingsbury. He's going to look to put up a ton of points here with Jaden Daniels. They're slowly starting to turn him loose a little bit. He's still running the ball a lot, which they need to let him do because that's what he's really good at.
Mm-hmm.
Neither team plays much defense. I'm looking for a shootout in the desert. Arizona has played Buffalo, Detroit, and the Rams, which are all three really good defenses. So they finally get a Washington Commanders team in here that they should be able to take advantage of. Kyler Murray is finally starting to get rookie Marvin Harrison Jr. going. He may have 2 or 3 TDs here. I don't know who's going to cover him. Like I said, Commanders 7-3 to the over in their last 10. The Cardinals are 6-4 to the over. 50.5 just seems low. So give me the Commanders at the Cardinals over 50.5.
Okay, and that thing actually moved in your direction. It's 50.
Yeah, well, I may tell you something.
So you got a half point there. Of course, who knows what it'll be Sunday. So anybody else that's listening and likes it and waits till Sunday, you might get it at a better number. Yeah. Who knows?
All right. So I was going to ask you a question. Since we were talking about earlier about one pick,
all right,
one pick stuff.
Before you do that,
okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
I'm just gonna quickly give I'm just gonna give the rundown here. So here are our picks for this week. Of course, as you can see, we both splattered the board this week. We got paint everywhere. We're ready to get this thing done. We'll just run down Paul's picks. He's got Indiana -7, Western Kentucky +8.5, the Wisconsin team total under 16.5, South Alabama Jags team total over 20.5, North Texas Mean Green -7, the Iowa State Houston game, not a lot of points. Let's go under 43. Stanford and Clemson, going to be lots of points, over 57.5. James Madison Dukes continue to get it done, -21. And in the NFL, Washington Commanders, Arizona Cardinals, over 50. On my side of the board, I start early. Hope it all ends well all the way throughout the day. Indiana, Maryland, over 51. Navy Midshipman, -3.5. Louisville Cardinal, +6.5. Oklahoma Sooners and Auburn bumping heads a lot, under 45. The Old Dominion Monarchs team total. Do not go out there and score any, under 19.5. Tar Heels and the Blue Devils, they're playing basketball on the football field, over 56. Fighting Illini here. I got you a 2-for-1 special. The Illini +18. Their team total over 13.5. And then late Saturday night, Washington State Cougars putting up all the points on the blue field in Boise. Team total over 28.5.
I like it.
All right.
So what
else you got?
I was gonna, kind of going back to what I started out with about the one pick thing. So out of your plays or one you hadn't made, what would be your best bet?
Best bet for the weekend.
Yeah. Even even if it's not on your card, it could be somewhere else or something.
Honestly, I think my best bet's going to be Illinois team total over 13.5.
Okay.
I think there's going to be points in this game. If the over-under's moving up, didn't you say that line was moving?
A lot of folks are on it.
Yeah, so I just don't think people are expecting this to be a low-scoring game. And Luke Altmaier's been fantastic this year, but they'll have this close to covered by halftime.
Right.
So if I'm putting out, and then of course it could get away from them in the second half, so I wouldn't give out the Illinois +18. I'll just take the Illinois team total over 13.5.
I like it. Just curious.
Which side? What do you? Let me take a guess.
Okay.
It's either gonna be Indiana -7 or North Texas -7.
I like all. I like. So I gotta make my best bet.
Well, you just asked me to do it.
Well, I know. I'm asking the question, sir. You
don't get to sit out.
You just send me your ID and sit over there and speak when spoken to. No. James Madison -21. Man, any one of those three. Give me James Madison -21.
Okay. Wow. The big number you're most in line with.
I trust them more. I mean, I trust Indiana too, but I don't know. Indiana's going to cover too. Give me that's to parlay them two together. That's my best bet.
Put them two together, Indiana and James Madison.
Yeah, parlay
okay.
two. Yeah, best bet of the weekend. Going to get there.
All right. What else do you have? I thought you had something else there. That's just something you wanted to go to.
Well, I just think it's one of those deals where if somebody's watching this, they're like, "Well, I wonder." I mean, they're putting out all these picks, but which one do they think is actually going to? We think I'm all going to get there.
Well, yeah, we wouldn't put them out if we didn't think they were all going to get there.
And I mean, we can't really show you the tickets we bet, but we can. Trust me, they're on a ticket somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I don't know. Heisman wise, I don't think there's much to talk about. Carson Beck, I don't think should be in there.
I just don't. I don't get it. I don't know what we're supposed to be seeing with him this year. I mean, yeah, he was really good last year. You also had Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers.
That guy's been pretty good in the NFL.
Yep, playing well for the Chargers.
Let's see. I had something pulled up a while ago. The teams that are undefeated against the spread. We looked at that yet?
No, we have not, because we were going to give it. But this seems about right. Some teams have played 4 games.
Standings. I had it pulled up a while ago, but
what is that? Oh, that's drainage outside. I was like, what is that noise?
Yeah, it's raining this ass.
I got you.
It's raining. Ain't much we can do about it. Sit there and enjoy it. I can't pull it up right now.
Oh my goodness! Just tease, just a big old tease.
I had it. Well, I already had it pulled up once, and then it went away because I went to something else.
That's dynamite.
Well, I went to look at another player stat, and it went away. I know this is good content for a podcast, but I mean, we're not like you're not watching the whatever show.
We'll all wait patiently as you pull it up
I
to
can't.
look at who's good.
I'm not good under pressure.
I want to guess the Ole Miss Rebels are 4-0 against the spread.
Yeah, and probably to the over.
Indiana has probably covered every game.
Holy shit!
I
Found
think.
it.
Oh, there it is. Found it. A whole bunch of teams are 4-0.
Well, yeah, you got Marshall 3-0, Tennessee 4-0, Eastern Michigan 4-0, which I was gonna bet this week. But I
Yeah,
didn't.
you are.
BYU 4-0, the Rebels 4-0, Louisville 3-0, UNLV 3-0, Central Florida 3-0. The San Jose State Spartans are 4-0 against the spread. I love it. Spread and shred. What's the guy's name again?
Doc Emmett Brown.
What's the coach's name?
Ken Niamatololo.
Woo, look at there. Army's 4-0. Pittsburgh's 4-0. That's a team we haven't really, because that offense is ginning up there. All right, so if you want to know the teams that's covering by the most points,
Okay, here we go.
Ole Miss is covering by 49.5 points.
On average,
Well, it's just, Tennessee 47, Ohio State 45, Texas 42. These are all the heavy hitters. Let's see if I can find a team where you wouldn't think. Penn State 28, Army 25.
go get on Black Knights.
Yeah.
You know, I want to mention this. I bet people don't pay attention. You know, I mentioned it to you. This could be crazy. So Army and Navy, and one of them's got to play Notre Dame, which that could be difficult. But these two teams, the way they've been playing and the kind of way their schedule's set up, they could end up playing in the Army Navy game and then turning around the next weekend and playing in that conference's title game. How crazy would that be? That would be pretty awesome. Yep. I'm rooting for it. I hope they both stay undefeated.
All right, so here's some over teams you wouldn't ever think about, but funny you talked about that. Navy 3-0, Vanderbilt 4-0, Boise State 3-0, Iowa 4-0
to the over. Shut up. Did they? I don't think they hit an over last year at all.
Yeah, Ball State 3-0. Ain't that the team I'm fading this week?
Yeah,
that's because they give up so many points.
That's who James Madison plays.
Yeah, that's all that is. So yeah, that's just fun stuff. We like to look at this kind of stuff. It's very interesting.
It really gets interesting as later you get in the season. You know, get more in conference play. See who's really getting it done.
I mean, I was looking at the most penalized teams. Penalized per yard. I don't really care how many they get. I want to know
how much yardage they're giving up because of penalties.
Holy shit, the Rebels.
Yeah, the defense has been getting some penalties.
Yeah, they're last.
They're the worst?
They're the worst. There is none other.
You know, that was brought up in Kiffin's last press conference.
Penalty yards per game, 109.
And he said that
100. That's a touchdown.
He said you don't want it. Obviously, you don't want to give up a bunch of yardage defensively on penalties. He said, but the problem is that now these guys are really playing aggressive and getting after it. And if you try to do too much to calm down the penalties, you're going to take their aggressive nature away, and that's something that they don't want to do. So right now they're just riding this wave and hoping they can keep up the aggressive nature and cut down on the penalties at the same time. So he's not really that upset or anxious about it. It's just their style of play on defense right now.
All right, here's a penalty yards per penalty.
Something like that. That's paraphrasing.
So if you're doing a penalty yard per penalty, it's not the NFL where you can get a 40-yard pass interference call. This is the most you can get is 15 yards.
Right.
So so per penalty, Buffalo is getting 11, a little over 11 yards a penalty.
So everything's a hold, a 10-yard hold,
or pass interference, or personal foul.
Yeah.
Interesting. Ole Miss is 11. Good God. We got to clean that shit up.
That's pass interference.
Yeah, it's got to be. There's some really good teams in that list. Well, I mean, better a 15-yard penalty than a touchdown.
Absolutely.
So I mean, I kind of maybe that stat is a little misleading. Scoring defense, opponents per game. Texas, Ohio State, Ole Miss, Georgia. It's the same teams. Let's look at the bottom of this list. Who sucks? I want to know who sucks.
Is there a Brian Kelly team down there somewhere?
I bet I can find them pretty quick. Kent State, Purdue, Akron, Ball State, Middle Tennessee State, New Mexico, App State, Utah State, North Carolina State, Texas Christian. They've never been worth a shit on defense.
You mentioned Purdue. I really wanted to add Nebraska to my list.
Where's LSU at?
But that spread is 10, and that's probably still way too low. Nebraska will probably blow Purdue out. I liked it better at 7 or 8. It's moved to 10. But Purdue is awful. They give up a ton of points, as you just mentioned. So that may be one, if anybody's thinking they don't like anything we got on the board, go dive into that Nebraska-Purdue matchup.
Takeaways per game, turnovers. James Madison, 4 per game.
Holy shit.
Maryland, 3.3 a game. Oklahoma, 3. Iowa State, 3. Then you get to Duke. Smooth. Look at Smooth. The Warhawks on defense. Arkansas, of course. I mean, the hell, they got 20 last week.
Didn't they pick them off 4 times last?
God, that was terrible. What's another fun one here? Special teams.
That was a 7 or 8 turnover game.
It was terrible.
Gross.
Opponent penalty first down per game. That means that the penalty resulted in a first down.
Or is it I guess, yeah.
Team opponent penalty first downs.
Okay.
Per game.
Okay.
Washington 4, Ole Miss 4, Eastern Michigan 4.
So we're giving other teams first downs on penalties
4 times a game. USC has given up none.
Oh, okay.
Wisconsin none. Iowa State none. Huh? How does that
good
happen?
Stuff. That's just good coaching. When you don't get penalties, Paul. It's just good coaching.
Good, clean coaching.
Don't you know?
Well, I'd hate to look at the NFL and not the Chiefs.
Oh my God!
All right, so let's see. Fumble recovery. Opponent interceptions thrown percentage. That means you're getting. Why can't you just do interceptions per game? Let's just look at that.
Let's just look at that.
Maryland 2.3. Yeesh. That means they were getting the Spartans 2. There's a couple teams that got none. North Carolina, nope.
They don't play defense.
Kennesaw State and State, Boise State. There's a lot of nope in that list.
A lot of nope.
All right.
All right, I think we're about done here. That's your stats section brought to you by Paul Robertson. Half a poolside bets there. Hope you enjoyed that section. Maybe we'll have some good stuff for you next time when we come to you. So remember, you don't have to take our picks. You don't have to take our locks. You can fade them if you like. Just going to remind you, Paul went 6-1 last week. And poolside bets is now over 500, so we're looking to have a big week as we got 18 locks out there for you.
Let's get it.
So let's go get it. Let's go have a big weekend. And Paul, come Monday, what are we going to be doing?
We're finna go here in just a minute and cash some tickets.
There we go. Cash in tickets. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you next week. Have a great weekend.